Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staten here on the Danny Dan blog. Today we're taking a look at the A-Team, number 2, from 1984. Wow, can't wait to get into this comic book. It's gonna be awesome. That's right, YouTube. We're taking a look at the A-Team comic book. It's a number 2 from 1984. We're going to see Mr. T get down and wrestle with a sumo. That ought to be some interesting stuff, huh? Let's bust this comic book open and have a look inside. Shall we? That's right, YouTube. You know it's an old comic book when the first thing inside the cover is a commercial for Atari. Well, did they even make Atari anymore? Wow. And then you get to find out it's a number 2 from 1984. It sure feels good to get back to some comic books that I can follow. Something from my day, something from my era. Lately, I did a Power Rangers and a Transformers comic book, and I don't really know that much about them, so it was kind of hard for an old Daily Dan to follow, but you bring me out some A-Team from 1984, and I can get all over that. I know that bitch's name, Amy. I know she's shaving a Hannibal. I know that's a Holland Mad Murdoch reading a Fantastic Four comic book. That's the face man back there, and Mr. T's driving the van, and they boogieing down the road towards a new adventure. I missed issue number 1. I guess that's all that Vietnam stuff, committing a crime and all that. But issue number 2 starts out with the A-Team on a case. So I guess we're going to get a little pre-action action as a dog runs out in front of the van. Mr. T slams a tree because Mr. T never could drive that good to be the wheelman. They all upset about it. Did some damage to the van. They got a flat tire. Look, Mr. T gonna pick that sucker up while Murdoch changes the tire. That's all good action as they head out to Chinatown to investigate a kidnapping, I think. That Hannibal all dressed up in one of his little disguises to check things out. Yes, YouTube, we found the way it went down. This little Japanese guy informed Hannibal that this guy got kidnapped by these guys. They got his hands all chained up there, and they're going to kill his ass if they don't pay some ransom. And then you get a commercial for a Spider-Man comic book. In this case, the A-Team comic book is probably much better than the Spider-Man comic book. I'd almost bet on that. So, Japanese guys making a deal with Hannibal to try to get the guys back, and you just heard the A-Team. It's true. And they find out that Hannibal's Hannibal, and they go out and talk to Amy and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to get out of this disguise, and we're going to go rescue the kidnapped guy. Oh, wow, it's a regular A-Team episode in a comic book. I'm really enjoying this one. And then you get the usual ads, dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee. You can make money from this crap. Selling some video game cartridges. I never did that. So in full panels brought to you by the Daily Dan blog, the A-Team head off to Chinatown, way up on this hill in the middle of the desert. And they drove there, so at least they didn't have to give old B.A. a shot and fly his ass there, right? So in full panels brought to you by the Daily Dan blog, the A-Team is on the case. The A-Team heads to Chinatown. Check out the guard dressed like he's from 2,000 years before Christ. And they're meeting Moolah girls. And this old rich fat white man runs it all. Ain't that the way it works in Chinatown these days, huh? So in full panels brought to you by the Daily Dan blog, we see the A-Team begin a very mediocre investigation, asking some questions, checking things out. Wow. I expected a little bit more action in the A-Team comic, but hey, look at this, YouTube. You could have won a free trip to Hollywood back in 1984. I pity the fool that don't enter this contest. Meanwhile, the A-Team is trying to track down clues to the kidnapped guy. They're following all the information given to them on this phone from 1984, apparently. And check this out, guy. When you meet somebody and the guy got the devil statue standing behind him, you got the devil statues over here, you probably shouldn't trust this guy too much. See, I told you, YouTube, can't trust the guy with the devil. So they meet the guy with the devil, they talking around with some information, and the guy flips on him. The guy see goddamn nunchucks guy on Hannibal, and they get into a big brawl with Mr. T going, oh, old Hannibal got this under control. I had to go over there and whoop that guy's ass, sure. And, of course, they take this point to throw a middle centerfold. Wouldn't that have been great to put a big centerfold A-Team poster in? Nah, they gotta put a centerfold with some comic books for sale and big long teeny tiny list that you need a magnifying glass to freaking read. Oh my God. So in a full panel brought to you by the Daily Dan blog, you can see all the action as Hannibal fights Nunchuck Nerd. Nunchuck Nerd. Nunchuck Nerd. Nunchuck Nerd. Told him Hannibal hit him on the toe. That'll teach you to be barefoot in a nunchuck fight. And of course, Hannibal kicked the nunchuck guy's ass. Now we're going to get some action, because Samurai Hulk Hogan showed up, and this guy's got muscles like you would not believe. That shit, even in a comic book, that looks unreal. And he's going to be fighting Mr. T, it looked like. And Mr. T's like, I'm going to get you, sucker. And of course, you get more ads in the back. Right here, some more ads for comic books. And then you can sell that grit shit. And I told you I did that, sell that grit shit. And that little magazine sucked. And I didn't make nothing doing it. I hate grit. And over here, you can sell them damn seeds again. I'm tired of talking about them motherfuckers. Why did everybody call them up and tell them how bad they sucked back in the 80s? Spaceman and Amy seeking out clues, trying to find out where the kidnapped dude is being hid. From Lady Gaga over here. She's no help. She's going to seek the monks on them. Everywhere they go, somebody want to seek somebody on them. So in another full panel brought to you by the Daily Dan blog, you can see Mr. T going one-on-one with the samurai. He's going to amuse the little man. Mr. T's all outmatched in this one, boys and girls. But of course, he's Mr. T, the baddest man on the planet. Well, at least he was back in 1984. You ever see that clip where he whooped Rocky's ass? And it's a good fight, though. I'll give it that. Look, it actually feels like I'm watching TV with some action up in this motherfucker right here, boy. So Murdoch done stole a helicopter, and he got it parked up on the hill waiting for a fast escape in case it's necessary. What a waste of Murdoch's talent during this comic book episode. As Mr. T still battling that samurai guy, they going back, they going forth, and then Mr. T get him by that big-ass ponytail and start swinging that bitch around like he's a joke or something. I'm going to swing him around and around. And then you get another bulletin time in the back here. You can read that bullshit if you want to. The Daily Dan won't be doing all that. Oh, that's a lot of reading. That's a lot of reading for something totally unrelated to what I'm doing here. So, okay then. Boy, back in the 80s, they just loaded these comic books down with ads. Check out all the free stuff. I actually got that X-ray glasses thing. You couldn't see through nothing in it. And what I really should have bought was this right here. The Pocket Spy Telescope, because that looked cool. I wish I'd have got me one of them. What? Girl Troubles? Well, Girl Troubles? Johnny Boots, you should check out this. Anyway, getting back to the action over here, Mr. T be throwing that samurai around. They be wrestling around. Mr. T kicks the samurai's ass. And we all live happily ever after. What the fuck? Is that the end of it? What the hell? Maybe I counted wrong, YouTube. This damn thing seems to have an extra page or two in it. Well, let's turn this sucker over and see what happens next. Okay, I got it now. Fat guy lived up to his promise, and when Mr. T defeated the samurai, his great show of power freed the kidnapped guy. That was what it took. It took Mr. T whooping a samurai to get this guy free. Now this guy's all free and he's all happy. And he's like, I will pay you lots of money, A-Team. So the A-Team says, thank you, and they get paid. And Murdoch jumps in his helicopter up there and he's flying around over the scene, because that's a horrible waste of Murdoch in this whole comic book. All he did was sit on the damn hill and wait to see what happened. And this guy's saying, we will need you for our security staff if you want a job. Nah, A-Team says, suck it, dude. I ain't working for the bad guys. Basically, I give the bitch a kiss goodbye, and they ride off into the sunset. Then, that storyline left a little bit to be desired, don't you think, YouTube? And wrapping up the last pages with a commercial over here for some bullshit. And some He-Man Masters of the Universe stuff going on this page. I like He-Man. I may get me a He-Man comic book and do one of them one day. And on the back of this comic book, you can't even get an A-Team commercial. Damn it. So, YouTube, that's my look at the A-Team number 2 from 1984. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for Daily Dan. Until next time, this is Danny Staton saying, blog over!